Hello everyone. In this refresher test, we have asked you 50 different questions out of the, general agriculture syllabus. Mostly covered the current affairs as well, current general agriculture knowledge, and about the crop data, about schemes. Almost every part of general agriculture we have asked here, and these are our main goal of this test was to know how depth you are, what is your current status and all. So some students may find it easy, some students may find it difficult. Doesn't matter, you stay tuned, you keep on appearing the test series, you will definitely improve at the end of the test series. So let's discuss these quizzes or these questions. What is the concept behind that? We'll analyze it, we will have some facts around the question, and we'll also discuss what might else be asked around the question. Suppose what is the related MCQ that can be formulated around the question. So it is not important to look at this discussion session as in like question and answer, but you have to integrate your knowledge with all those concept I will tell you, and with all those probable MCQ I will tell you what can be asked except these 50 MCQs. So students often do it. Students often they only watch the video to know the answer keys. It is not important to know the answer keys, in fact. So examiner, he or she might ask this question, might not, but if you know the concept behind it, if you know the associated facts, if you know the associated what we call MCQs, then there might be a very good chance that some questions might come from this particular section. So let's discuss. Let's start. So our first question was, ICR is celebrating its birthday every year on. That means on which day ICR was formulated or started functioning. So it was 16th of July. Okay, it is 16th of July every year. The inception date was 16th July 1929. All of you know. So uh, about ICR, what is ICR? So ICR is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, which was established, as I said, in 1929 on 16th July. Therefore, this date is celebrated annually as ICR's Foundation Day. Here I have mentioned birthday, but it is generally called Foundation Day. The other options are significant for different regions. Like suppose you say 5th December, it is celebrated as World Soil Day. 5th December as World Soil Day. Okay. Then 22nd March, it is celebrated as World Water Day. World Water Day. So in this way, you have to link these questions and answers to different aspects. I mean, it will revise your knowledge. Then ICR was formerly known as, Imperial Council of Agricultural Research, because at that time we are under British government. So it was, the name was Imperial Council of Agricultural Research. Then during 1946-47, it was converted. I mean, the name was again it was renamed into Indian Council of Agricultural Research, and it was, it was established based on the recommendation of Royal Commission on Agriculture, and the Union Minister of Agriculture serves as ex officio president. That is also important. Who is ex officio president? That means who is acting as ex officio president of ICR. That is the our Union Agriculture Minister. Union Agriculture Minister is act as who is currently the Union Agriculture Minister? Sri Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Sri Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He is currently the Union Agriculture Minister, and he is the president of ICR. So, what else can be asked from this particular MCQ? What is the original name of ICR? Like right now, it is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, but earlier it was the Imperial Council of Agricultural Research. Now, again, World Soil Day is celebrated annually. You can answer it 5th December. Like that, World Water Day, 22nd March. There are different days celebrated. You have to remember all those. Then, who is the current secretary of DARE? Who is the current secretary of DARE? What is DARE? DARE is the Department of Agricultural Research and Education. What is DARE? Department of Agricultural Research and Education. Okay. So this department is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. The Secretary of DARE is the principal advisor to the Government of India on all matters related to agricultural research and education. Again, I'm telling it. The Secretary of DARE, he is also known as the DG of ICR. Secretary of DARE is also the DG of ICAR. Okay. What is ICR? We have already discussed. So right now the Secretary DARE and DG of ICR is Dr. M.L. Jat or Mangilal Jat. Okay. Previously, Dr. Himanshu Pathak was the DG, but right now Dr. M.L. Jat is the DG, and he is also the Secretary of DARE, that is Department of Agriculture Research and Education, and uh, the secretary has the critical role that links the government of agriculture policy with a national research framework. Okay, what probable questions might be asked from this? The director general of ICRR hold which of the following significant government position? You can say secretary DARE. Then DARE is department under which ministry? You can say it is under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Next question: which of the following is a long duration paddy variety? Which of the following is a long duration paddy variety? That is Pusa 44. Pusa 44 is a long duration paddy variety. What is the duration? The duration is, this is high yielding, but the duration is around 155 to 160 days. However, Pusa 2090 and Pusa 1824, these are derived from, I mean, the parent is Pusa 44 here of Pusa 2090 and Pusa 1824, but here the duration is around 125 to 130 days. Okay, here also 125 to 130 days. So why this is important? Because rice varieties are categorized as short, medium, long duration, and Pusa 44 is a famous high yielding rice variety known for its long duration, typically mature in about 150 to 55 to 160 days. This long duration can delay the sowing of the next crop, like in wheat in northern India, and has been linked to increased water consumption and stubble burning issues in northern India. So, agriculture scientists are now focusing on developing high yielding varieties with shorter duration to better fit into intensive cropping system and conserving different resources, like for example water and to prevent the residue burning. Okay, so what probable questions might ask from this question? The practice of stubble burning in the rice wheat system of North India is often exacerbated the cultivation of which type of variety? So basically the answer will be long duration variety. So long duration variety, when the farmer take in Kharif season, then there is the residue is generally burned after that is being paddy is being harvested using the harvester. Okay, combine harvester. A primary agronomic disadvantage of long duration crop variety is, that is, delayed sowing of the subsequent crop. So here when you are taking long duration variety, then the next crop sowing is delayed. Then there is problem of terminal heat stress and all you can find. The next question: under the soil health card scheme, laboratory test uh, the collected soil sample for how many different parameters? For how many different parameters the laboratory test is being conducted in soil health parameter? Okay, a soil health card scheme. Okay, so here the right answer will be 12. Okay, the right answer will be 12. So what are those 12 parameters? Those are pH is C, pH is C, then organic carbon, then NPK, okay, then sulfur, then zinc, boron, iron, manganese, and copper. Okay, so how many? 3, 3, 6, 6, 12. So here pH is C, organic carbon, NPK primary macronutrient, secondary macronutrient sulfur, then zinc, iron, manganese, copper, and along with that boron. Okay, so these are the 12 soil health parameters, like soil quality parameters, that has been incorporated in soil health card scheme. Okay, so basically The soil health card scheme test for 12 parameters, and we have already discussed what are those parameters. The soil health card scheme, when it was launched in 2015. 2015. Okay, it aims to issue a card to every farmer in the country once every 2 years to promote balanced fertilization. So when the card, I mean, after how many years the card has been reissued, that is 2 years. Okay, so that the soil health status will be known, and accordingly the fertilizer application will be done. Then what might be the associated questions? Which of the following is considered a physical parameter under soil health card scheme? So basically there is no physical parameter. You can say which parameter is most valuable for, I mean, most valid for the soil health point of view, soil quality point of view, that is soil organic carbon. How frequently the soil health card is meant to be issued? That is 2 years. Okay, the next question, Maitri program 2.0, that is a cross incubation program on agri-tech between India and which of the following nation? So we start a different incubation program with different nations. So Maitri 2.0 is generally it is between India and Brazil. Okay, it is between India and Brazil. So it is a bilateral initiative between India and Brazil, and it is designated to foster innovations and collaboration between agri-tech startups from both the countries, helping them explore each other's market and technology. So, international collaboration is vital for addressing global agricultural challenges like climate change, food security, and supply chain inefficiencies. Such programs help in the cross pollination of ideas and technology. Now, let's discuss uh, what other MCQs might be asked. So, the Maitri Program 2.0 is primarily focused on supporting which segment of the agrotech ecosystem, that is, startups and innovators. So, which segment? It is startup and innovations. Okay, the term agri-tech refers to the use of technology to improve the dash of agricultural process, that is efficiency and output, profitability and sustainability, everything. Like sustainability it will improve, profitability it will improve, then efficiency of output it will improve. Next question, who is the World Food Prize owner for 2025? Who is the World Food Prize owner for 2025? So the owner is Dr. Mariangela Hungria. Dr. Mariangela Hungria. He had worked. She had worked on soil health, biological nitrogen fixation. Okay. So the World Food Prize is often referred to as the Nobel Prize for Food and Agriculture. Dr. Mariangela Hungria is the winner for 2025. The other names in the list, they are also, World Food Prize owner, Dr. Ratan Lal, World Food Prize owner of 2020. Dr. Cynthia Rosenwig, the World Food Prize owner for 2022. Dr. Carrie Fowler, along his with associate, he was awarded it in 2024. So the prize actually founded by the father of Green Revolution, Dr. Norman Borlaug. World Food Prize was founded by Dr. Norman E. Borlaug, and he received the Nobel Peace Prize during 1970. And the first recipient of World Food Prize was Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, the father of Green Revolution in India. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, he was awarded the World Food Prize, the first person to award the World Food Prize in 1987. Okay. Now, what else can be asked? Who is credited with founding the World Food Prize? That is Dr. Norman E. Borlaug. Again, who was the first person to be awarded the World Food Prize? Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. You have to remember this. Next question. According to NSO estimate for 2023-24, the contribution of agriculture to India's GVA. What is GVA? GVA is gross value added. Okay. So what is the contribution of agriculture to gross value added of India? That is During 2023 it was 17.7%. Okay, so the contribution of agriculture to India's GVA is a key economic indicator. While this share has been declining over the decades as the service and industrial sector grows faster. So right now it is at level 17.7%. So GVA measures the value of goods and services produced in a sector. Despite its relatively small share of GVA under 20%, the agriculture sector still employs the largest portion of India's workforce, that is around 45 to 54%. Okay, so this is important. Okay, and during different crises agriculture stands strong and it is the backbone of our nation, so we cannot ignore it. So what are the probable questions? Which sector of Indian economy provides the largest amount of employment? That is agriculture. What has been the general long term trend of the agriculture sector percentage contribution to India's GBA? That is decreasing due to several factors. Next question: the cropping intensity of India. The cropping intensity of India, as per the recent statistics, with 219.4 million hectare of gross cropped area. So here the right answer is 156%. So what is cropping intensity? Cropping intensity, the formula is equal to gross cropped area divided by net cropped area into 100. Okay. So here the gross cropped area recently it is 219.4 million hectare, and uh, the net cropped area is around 140 million hectares. So you can calculate that gross cropped area and net cropped area, that is 156%. So cropping intensity measures how many times a piece of land is cultivated within a single cultivation year. A cropping intensity of 156% means that on an average, more than half of the cultivated land in India is used to grow a second crop in a year. That means 56%, suppose here is 156. So 56% of land is reused in the Rabi season. So when we are talking about key factors that increasing cropping intensity are the availability of irrigation. So how to increase the cropping intensity? To avail more irrigation if it is available. Then the use of short duration crop varieties and mechanization. Then state with extensive irrigation like Punjab, there is high cropping intensity. Then the Trans-Gangetic zone, there is high cropping intensity. Okay, so the major factor is which type of variety you are taking and the irrigation facility, whether it is available or not. Next question: the source which contributes the maximum for irrigation in India. The source which uh, is maximum, which contributes to the maximum for irrigation in India. So whatever the fresh water we use in India, mostly 80 to 85% of the fresh water that is used in agriculture. And among these, the for irrigation purpose, mostly we use the tube well. Mostly tube well is used for extracting groundwater, and that is for used for irrigation. Okay, so India uses various sources for irrigation, like including canal, tank, wells. Over the last several decades, groundwater has been the dominant source. Tube well which extract the groundwater are the single largest contributor to irrigation in India. Around 35 to 40% water is being pulled out with tube well. The extensive use of tube well, however, fuel to, I mean, earlier it was fuel to green revolution, but it led to severe groundwater depletion in many parts of the country, raising major concern about agricultural sustainability. So, what are the associated questions might be asked? The term groundwater depletion is most closely associated with the overuse of uh, tube wells. In which region of India's tank irrigation is most commonly and traditionally practiced? That is peninsular plateau and southern India as well. Okay. Next question. As per the final estimate of 2023-24, the rice production in India has reached, that is highest, that is 137 million ton. 137 million ton. So these questions require knowledge of recent crop production data, and we have shared some of the data with you. India's total rice production has now reached 137 million ton. Okay, And India is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. However, India is the world's largest exporter of rice. West Bengal is the largest producing country, state in India. Which country is the world's largest producer of rice? That is China. Which Indian state having the highest total production of rice? That is West Bengal. You have to remember it. Okay. West Bengal is the largest producer and China is the first in terms of rice production. But rice export, India is the leading country in the world. Next question. The national average productivity is highest for which of the following crop? The national average uh, productivity means what? The production per unit area, yield per unit area. So this is highest for wheat. Okay, wheat it is exceeding 3 ton per hectare, and rice it is around 2.7 to 2.8 ton per hectare. Finger millet it is below that, like 2.2 to 2.4 ton per hectare. Groundnut it is again below that, around 1.6 to 1.8 ton per hectare. So the right answer is wheat, and we have shared the data with you. So while India's total rice production is higher than its total wheat production, the national average productivity, that is yield in kg per hectare, that is of wheat, is generally higher. This is because wheat is predominantly grown in highly productive region and Indo-Gangetic plain having high yielding varieties. The productivity of millet and groundnut is considerably lower. And productivity, what it measures the efficiency, whereas production is measures the volume. The green revolution dramatically increased the productivity of both rice and wheat. The probable questions from here: the term crop productivity is best defined, that is the yield per unit area. The green revolution in India is most famously associated with massive increase in productivity of which two crop, that is rice and wheat. Next question: the minimum support price is not applicable for which of the following crop? See, minimum support price it is decided by government of India by MS CACP, cost of agricultural cost and prices. So who decide minimum support price? That is CACP. CACP. What is the full form? Agricultural cost uh, Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. Okay, so it recommends the MSP, while MSP is announced for many crops. Okay, large scale government procurement is primarily focused on paddy and wheat. So the government of India announces MSP for a specific list of crops, protect farmers from price drop. The list of crop include, like, I mean, most of like 7 cereals, uh, around even pulse crops, then oil seed crops, and among these, Rajma is not coming under MSP. Okay, 22 total 22 number of crops has under MSP, for which MSP is being declared. Okay, every year. So Rajma is not coming under MSP. Okay. Now, which organization is responsible for recommending MSP to Government of India? That is CSCP. We have already discussed. For which crop does the government announce fair and remunerative price? That is FRP. Will also, there is another MCQ on that. FRP, that is sugarcane. Next question: National Food Security Mission, that is NFSM, has renamed to National Food Security and Nutritional Mission in the year 2024. You have to remember that. So the National Food Security Mission was centrally sponsored scheme which was launched in during 2007-8 to broaden its focus from just food grain quantity to also include the quality and nutritional aspect, like promoting nutri-cereals and biofortification. It was renamed as the National Food Security and Nutritional Mission in 2024. Okay, this name change reflects a significant policy shift from ensuring only calorie sufficient or food security to providing balanced and nutritious diet for the population. Okay, so what are the associated questions? Like, the original National Food Security Mission was launched in 2007. Okay, then the inclusion of nutritional in the name of NFSM highlights a focus on improving the quality and dietary value of the food. Next question: how many crop production advance estimates are being released for 28 major agricultural crop every year by Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare? The right answer here is 4 advance estimate. First advance estimate, second advance estimate, third and fourth, like that. So before releasing the final production figure of an agricultural year, the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, releases a series of forecasts called advance estimate. There are total 4 advance estimate issued throughout the year, each one becoming more accurate as more data from the states become available. The first advance estimate focus on the Kharif season, while subsequent estimate incorporate data from Rabi season and provide revised figure of the entire year. Okay, so and it is for decided for 28 major crops. So the associated questions: the first advance estimate of crop production released around September, that is primarily cover which season? The Kharif season. The final crop production data released after the 4 advance estimate is known the final estimate. Okay, fourth advance estimate, whatever the data is coming, that is called final estimate. Okay. Next question: fair and remunerative price is announced for which of the following crop? Fair and remunerative price is announced for which of the following crop? The right answer here is sugarcane. Okay. Uh, so basically, uh, two main type of government announced prices for agricultural commodity has been launched every year, like MSP, minimum support price, and fair and remunerative price. While minimum support price applies to 22 crops, a distinct mechanism called fair and remunerative price is used exclusively for sugarcane. Okay, the FRP or fair and remunerative price is the minimum price that sugar mills are legally obliged to pay the farmers for their sugarcane. So FRP is also recommended by CACP, similar to MSP. Some states like Uttar Pradesh announce a state advised price for sugarcane, which is often higher than FRP even. Okay, so the associated questions might be like the price that sugar mills must legally pay to sugarcane farmers is determined by the FRP, that is fair and remunerative price. What is the term for the price announced by some of the state government for sugarcane, which is usually higher, like specifically UP, that is state advised price, SAP, state advised price for sugarcane. Next question: the first state agricultural university established in 1960 was? The first state agricultural university that was established in 1960 was, that is GBPUAT, Gobind Ballabh Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, or GB Pant University of Agricultural Technology, established in Pantnagar, Uttarakhand. Then it was the part of UP. In 1960 it was established. Its creation marked a pivotal moment, as it was modeled on the US land grant university system, integrating teaching, research, and extension. PAU was established in 1962, even OUAT 1962. Okay, and IRI, that was established in 1905, but it was deemed to be university. The establishment of state agricultural university in India was inspired by which international model, that is US land grant university system. The three pillars of the land grant university model adopted by Indian SAUs are teaching, extension, and research. Okay, you have to remember it. The first KVK was formed in which of the following state or union territory? The first KVK was formed in which of the following state and union territory? The right answer here is Puducherry or Pondicherry. Okay. The first KVK was launched in 1974, and the Puducherry KVK, it was under TNAU, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. Okay, it was launched in 1st of April 1974, and here uh, the KVK means Krishi Vigyan Kendra, and it is also known as Farm Science Center. It is a crucial link between agricultural research, lab, and farmers. Okay, so KVK is established in each rural district of the country. Their primary mandate is technology assessment, refinement, and demonstration through on-farm testing and frontline demonstration. So the questions might be like the first KBK when it was established, that is 1974. What is the primary role of Krishi Vigyan Kendra? So to demonstrate and disseminate new technology to farmers. Next question. India is 100% importer of which of the following fertilizer? That is, the right answer here is MOP. So for potassium, it doesn't have any reserve. So it totally depends on the foreign countries for potassium. That is MOP. Okay. Uh, India has no commercially viable reserve of potash. As a result, the country is entirely dependent on import of its entire requirement of potash fertilizer. The most common potassic fertilizer is muriate of potash or MOP. MOP, the full form is muriate of potash, or the formula if you'll say that is KCl, potassium chloride. While India is the major producer of urea and DAP, it is still importing them to meet its large domestic demand, but it's not 100% import dependent. The chemical formula of muriate of potash we have already discussed, that KCl, and how much potassium it contains, 60% K2O it contains. Okay, so are associated questions like the primary reason for India's 100% import dependency on fertilizer, potassium fertilizer is, that is absence of domestic potassic reserve. Then MOP is the common agricultural name for which of the chemical compound, that is potassium chloride. Next question. Eutrophication increases BOD. Eutrophication increases BOD. Which is the primary cause of eutrophication? See, eutrophication, you have to understand what eutrophication is, then what is BOD is, and what is the cause of eutrophication. Eutrophication means this is the, I mean, enrichment of water bodies with nutrients. So here the right answer will be nutrient enrichment. So it leads to excessive growth of algae. If there is no more nutrient in water body, then algae growth will be, or algal bloom growth will be more. And these algae, when they die, they decompose. The bacteria involved in decomposition, they consume large amount of dissolved oxygen from the water, leading to an increase in biological oxygen demand, creating hypoxic condition or low oxygen condition, which is considered harmful for the aquatic life, for the other aquatic animals. Okay, so major source of nutrient enrichment in water bodies is like runoff water from agriculture field. So we use different fertilizers, and mostly the nitrogenous and phosphoric fertilizer is contributed to this eutrophication process. So when the water is from runoff, it gathered in nearby aquatic body, then this type of condition happens. The two main nutrients responsible for causing eutrophication, that is nitrogen and phosphorus. An increase in BOD is in water body indicates a decrease in dissolved oxygen level. Okay. Next question. Which of the following cannot be taken as green manure crop? Which of the following cannot be taken as green manure crop? The right answer here will be sorghum. Why it cannot be taken? Because of high CN ratio. High CN ratio, what will happen? There will be immobilization loss will be more than mineralization. So, okay, so when we are using high CN ratio residue like sorghum, then the immobilization problem will be more. And as the dhoincha, cowpea, and sonham, these are leguminous crop, their nitrogen content is high and the CN ratio is also less, and it can decompose and provide the nutrient earlier. So sorghum is basically a cereal crop, and it is not suitable because it cannot fix atmospheric nitrogen, and for decomposition it also takes a lot of time, and it can immobilize the nutrient in the soil. You will need to unlock your device first. Yeah. Next question. The tryptophan is the precursor of which of the following plant growth regulator? Tryptophan is the precursor of which of the following plant growth regulator? The right answer is auxin, to be specific, indole acetic acid. Okay. The so plant hormones are synthesized from specific precursor molecule, like the amino acid tryptophan is the primary precursor of auxin, specifically indole 3 acetic acid, a key hormone regulating plant growth, particularly cell elongation. Other hormones also have specific precursors. For example, methionine is the precursor of ethylene. Methionine, okay, is the precursor of ethylene, and gibberellin is synthesized from terpenoid. Gibberellin is synthesized from terpenoid. Okay. Uh, Next, the associated questions like the plant hormone ethylene responsible for fruit ripening is synthesized from which of the following amino acid? We have already discussed, that is methionine. Which plant hormone is primarily responsible for apical dominance? That is auxin. Auxin is associated with apical dominance. Next question. Dead heart and white ear head after flowering is the common symptom in rice when infected by. Dead heart and white ear head is the common symptom when the rice is infested with stem borer. Okay, when the rice is infested with stem borer. So basically, the symptom describes a classic indicator of damage of rice. When the larva bores into the central shoot during the vegetative stage, it causes the shoot to dry up, creating a dead heart symptom. Okay, dead heart is at vegetative stage, and when it occurs at flowering stage, it prevents grain formation of because I mean the panicle to turn whitish and peppery. It is known as white ear head. Okay, the damaging state of stem borer is the larva, that is caterpillar, which feed inside the rice stem. The Gandhi bug is incorrect because it is a sucking pest and that feeds on developing grains, causing buggy or discoloration grains. So the associated questions might be: the dead heart symptom in rice plant is caused by stem borer damaging during which growth stage, that is mostly vegetative stage, and which type of insect pest causes damage by sucking sap from developing rice grain, that is mostly the Gandhi bug from the following. Next question: white grub is serious pest of which of the following crop? White grub is serious pest of the groundnut. Okay, so white grub is the larval stage of scarab beetle. It is polyphagous, feeds on many plants, and it is soil dwelling pest that causes severe damage by feeding on the roots and pods of the plant. It is considered a particular devastating pest of groundnut because in groundnut the pods are below ground, where it can lead to wilting and complete crop loss. So the adult stage of the white crab is beetle, which typically feeds on the foliage of the nearby trees like neem. Management often involves controlling the adult beetle to prevent egg laying. The associated questions might like which part of the groundnut plant is primarily damaged by white grub, that is roots and pods. The white grub is the dash stage of the life cycle of the beetle, that is larval stage. Next question. Bordeaux mixture is a Bordeaux mixture is a fungicide. It is not a fertilizer, it is not an insecticide, it is not a herbicide, it is a fungicide. Okay, so one of the oldest and mostly used fungicide. It is a combination of what are the component? The components are, so who discovered Bordeaux mixture? That is PMA Millardet. Millardet discovered Bordeaux mixture, and the composition like copper sulfate plus lime or calcium carbonate or calcium hydroxide plus water. Okay, it is effective against a wide range of fungal and some bacterial disease of fruit and vegetable and ornamental plant. Even it was discovered accidentally in the Bordeaux region of France in the 19th century, where it was being used to deter grape theft and was observed to prevent uh, downy mildew disease. Okay, the two primary active ingredient used for Bordeaux mixture are lime and the copper sulfate. A chemical used to control plant disease caused by fungi is, that is fungicide. Okay, Bordeaux mixture is a fungicide. Next question. Blitox is the trade name of. Blitox is the trade name of what? It is the trade name of copper oxychloride. Okay, the right answer here is copper oxychloride. Okay, uh, see here, copper oxychloride is a broad spectrum and contact fungicide, meaning it can kill fungus on the plant surface upon contact and doesn't get absorbed into the plant system. That's why it is used for seed treatment. Okay, and carbendazim and Vitavax are different type of systemic fungicide. Okay, so common questions from here. Carbendazim is a type of dash fungicide that is systemic. Which of the following is an example of copper based fungicide? That is copper oxychloride, as the name suggests. Next question. Which of the following disease is caused by virus? Which of the following disease is caused by virus? That is raccoon stunting. Okay, sugarcane ratoon stunting, it is caused by virus. Rice blast, it is caused by fungus, Magnifica. Rice yellow dwarf, and sesamum phyllodes, yellow dwarf and sesamum phyllodes caused by mycoplasma or phytoplasma. Okay, so the devastating blast disease of rice is caused by which pathogen? That is fungal pathogen. Disease like sesamum phyllodes, rice yellow dwarf. It can be asked in different competitive exam. This is being asked like sesamum phyllodes and rice yellow dwarf caused by, that is phytoplasma. Then Uphra disease in rice. Uphra disease in rice caused by which nematode? That is Dictylencus angustus. Dictylencus angustus causes Uphra disease in rice. It is associated with plant parasitic nematode, and it is a significant problem in deep water rice ecosystem caused by rice stem nematode, that is Dictylencus angustus. Okay. See other options like meloidogyne, that is causes root knot disease. Anguina triticale causes cockle disease in wheat. Okay. Nematodes are basically microscopic roundworms that can be parasitic to plant, causing significant crop loss worldwide. They can infect roots, stem, leaves, and flowers. What might be the other questions that can be asked? Like the ear cockle disease in wheat is caused by which plant parasitic nematode? You can answer Anguina triticale. The formation of gall and knot on the root of many vegetable crop is typical symptom of which nematode? That is root knot nematode. Okay. Next question. Which of the following is not a viral disease of banana? Which of the following is not a viral disease of banana? The right answer is Panama wilt. The right answer here is Panama wilt. Okay. Uh, it is basically caused by a fungus, that is Fusarium oxysporum. Panama wilt basically caused by a fungus, that is Fusarium oxysporum, and all others are viral disease. Bacterial mosaic, streak, bunchy top of banana, these are viral disease. So banana bunchy top virus is considered one of the most destructive viral disease of banana globally. A new strain of Panama wilt, tropical race 4, poses a major threat to the global Cavendish banana. So what is that Panama wilt? Another new trait, that is TR4, that is most devastating in Cavendish banana industry. What other MCQ can be asked? Like the causal agent of Panama wilt is caused by, that is fungus. Which of the following is a major viral disease of banana characterized by stunted plant with bunched leaves at the top? That is bunchy top. Next question. The nitrogenous base that is absent in DNA, DNA and RNA, that is DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, RNA is ribonucleic acid. So basically, the composition of DNA are ATGC. Okay, DNA, the composition is ATGC. So adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. These are the constituent of DNA. What is absent? That is uracil. Uracil is you can find in the RNA. Okay. In RNA, which nitrogenous base pair with adenine, that is uracil. Okay. The DNA helix structure is characteristic of which nucleic acid? That is DNA. The double helix structure. Sorry. Next question. The smallest RNA which having clover leaf structure, that is the smallest RNA having clover leaf structure, that is the tRNA. The right answer here is tRNA. So there are three main type of RNA: tRNA, sRNA, rRNA, and mRNA. tRNA, mRNA, and rRNA. tRNA is the smallest. It has a distinctive two-dimensional cloverleaf structure due to base pairing within the molecule. Its primary function is to carry a specific amino acid to the ribosome during protein synthesis, matching its anticodon to the codon on the mRNA. mRNA is messenger RNA, carries the genetic code from DNA to ribosome. It is a linear molecule. rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA, it is structural component of ribosome. It is the most abundant type of RNA. So the question associated, which type of RNA is responsible for carrying the genetic code from the nucleus to the cytoplasm? That is mRNA. The three base sequence on a tRNA molecule that is complementary to a codon on mRNA is called anticodon. Okay. Next question. Among the four stages of karyokinesis, the best stage to study the chromosome, that is the right answer is metaphase. Okay. So the ideal stage for studying chromosome morphology like size, shape, number during metaphase. During metaphase, what happens? The chromosomes reach their maximum level of condensation, making them thick, short, and clearly visible under microscope. They also align neatly along the cell's equatorial plane, known as the metaphase plate, which facilitate their counting and analysis. Okay. What are the other stages? Like in prophase, chromosome condense and became visible. Anaphase, sister chromatids separate and move to opposite pole. Telophase, chromosomes condense and nuclear envelope reforms. The probable questions around it: the separation of sister chromatids occurs during which stage of mitosis? The right answer will be anaphase. Then the process of creating a visual profile of a person's chromosome arranged in homologous pair is called the karyotyping. Okay. Then the next question is: the exchange of genetic material between a non-sister chromatid that causes hereditary variation occurs in which stage of meiosis? So, what are the stages of meiosis? The stages of meiosis are, what are the stages? The leptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin, and diakinesis. So, in which stage exchange of genetic material between non-sister chromatid happens? That is in pachytin. Okay, the right answer is pachytin or pachytin, whatever you can say. So it is also called crossing over. This process is also called crossing over. This is crucial event which creates new combination of genes and is a major source of genetic variation occurs during the pachytin substage of prophase 1. So prophase 1 of meiosis is a long phase divided into 5 substages like leptotin, zygotin, zygotin where you can find the synapsis or pairing of homologous chromosome, then pachytin where crossing over happens, then diplotin where chiasmata is visible, and the final stage is diakinesis. The associated MCQs like the pairing of homologous chromosome, that is synapsis that during meiosis occurs in which stage? That is zygotin. Synapsis happen in zygotin. Which of the following is primary significance of crossing over? That is, it creates genetic variation among offspring. Okay. The next question is, which of the following represents monozomy? Which among the following represents monozomy? The right answer here is 2n minus 1. So a normal diploid organism is represented as 2n. Aneuploid refers to gain or loss of one or more chromosome. So monozomy is the condition where the chromosome is missing from a homologous pair. Therefore, the perfect representation is 2n minus 1. 2n plus 1 represents trisomy. 2n minus 2 represents nolizomy. 2n minus 2 represents nolizomy. 2n plus 1 it represents double trisomy. The associated questions like Down syndrome in human is an example of trisomy of chromosome 21. How would this condition be represented genetically? So trisomy is represented by 2n plus 1, and you have to remember the Down syndrome of human is associated with trisomy. The general term for an organism having abnormal number of chromosome is known as aneuploidy. Next question: the following fruit crop doesn't have multiple fruit type, doesn't have simple fruit type. So here the right answer will be the jackfruit. It is having multiple fruit type. So simple fruit like mango, guava develop from a single ovary of a single flower. Aggregate fruit, that is like strawberry, develop from multiple ovaries within a single flower. Multiple fruit develop from the ovaries of many separate flowers clustered together in an inflorescence. Jackfruit is a classic example of multiple fruit as the entire structure develops from whole inflorescence. So pineapple and fig are the other common example of multiple fruit. What are the associated questions? Strawberry, which develops from a single flower with many small ovaries, is an example of which type of fruit? The right answer will be aggregate fruit. So there are simple fruit, aggregate fruit, and multiple fruit. Okay. So yeah. Then which of the following is also a multiple fruit similar to jackfruit? That is pineapple. Then the next question is radish and turnip belong to family. Radish and turnip belong to which family? The right answer here is Brassicaceae. Right, radish and turnip belong to Brassicaceae family or cruciferum family. Okay, so it is basically mustard family, also known as mustard family. Include many crops like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, mustard. Then the family name cruciferi comes from the four petal flowers that are arranged like a cross crucifix. Many members of this family have a characteristic pungent flavor due to sulfur containing compound called glucosinolate. So cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli all belongs to which family? Cruciferi or Brassicaceae. The family Cucurbitaceae includes which of the following vegetable? Uh, Mostly cucumber and gourds are belongs to family like rice gourd, spine gourd. These are belongs to family, and cucumber belongs to family Cucurbitaceae. Next question: fruit crop that is rich in riboflavin. Fruit crop that is rich in riboflavin. You have to remember this, like different vitamins names and the symbol. You have to remember like riboflavin. Vitamin B2 is also called riboflavin. Like that, what vitamin A called, what vitamin C called. You have to remember all this. Then different fruit crop have different vitamins, and fruit are rich source of vitamins. And among it, bale is rich source of vitamin B2. Bale, that is Eigle marmelos. Okay, rich in riboflavin. Mango rich source of vitamin A. Ripe mango rich source of vitamin A, that is beta carotene, is the precursor. Papaya rich source of vitamin A and C. Amla rich source of vitamin C. Amla is also known as Indian gooseberry. Riboflavin is essential for energy metabolism, cellular function, and maintaining healthy skin and eye. The questions associated with this MCQ, that is, which of the following fruit is considered one of the richest source of vitamin C? That is Amla. Amla is richest source of vitamin C. The yellow orange color of mango and papaya is primarily due to the presence of dash, a precursor of vitamin A, that is beta carotene. Vitamin A, the precursor is beta carotene. Next one, system of orchard planting that accommodates lesser number of trees than square system. Square system, the lesser number of tree. In triangular system, the right answer will be triangular system, because in hexagonal you can find 15% more population than the square system. Then hexagonal is also known as septule system. Queen-Cox system, here around 2x plant you can accommodate than square system. Okay, uh, so basically the square system is the simplest and most common layout. Hexagonal system allows again 15% more trees, and Queen-Cox system nearly doubles the plant density temporarily. Triangular system is very similar to square system in terms of plant density. However, in this system, trees in alternate rows are planted midway between the trees of the preceding row. While it accommodates the same number of trees as the square system over a large area, it might result in fewer trees if the field dimensions are not perfectly suited, which could be the logic behind the less number of trees. Mostly the tree, the orchards are not well spaced. Well, like the dimension is not proper, so that's how it happens. The main advantage of triangular system over the square system is that it provides more even distribution of space for tree canopy to develop. The associated questions like which system of orchard planting accommodates approximately 15% more trees per unit area than square planting, that is hexagonal. Queen-Cox system is essentially a square system with an additional tree planted in the dash of each square, that is center of each square. Next question: minimum how many number of satellites are needed for GPS receivers to determine an accurate 3D position? The right answer here will be 4. Okay, so minimum there are 4 satellites required to find the accurate GPS for 3D position. So GPS receivers work by calculating its distance from the multiple satellites. That process is known as trilateration. Trilateration. So, on the 2D position, latitude, longitude signal, minimum 3 satellites are required. For 3D position, again latitude, longitude, and altitude, minimum 4 satellites are required. 4 satellites provides the necessary information to correct the timing. Okay, so to correct the time dimension like clock, gravity, improve accuracy, another satellite is required. GPS technology is a cornerstone of modern precision agriculture used for yield mapping, auto steering, tractors, and variable rate application of inputs in agriculture. Uh, so associated questions might be like for 2D position, minimum number of satellites required. You have to answer three. The technique used by GPS receiver to determine position by measuring distance from multiple satellite is called trilateration. This process is called trilateration. The next question is, where is the headquarter of National Remote Sensing? Where is the headquarter of National Remote Sensing is located? That is Hyderabad. Okay. Space Application Center of ISRO, that is located in Ahmedabad Space Application Center. NESAC located in Northeastern Space Application Center, located in Shillong. Okay. And in Hyderabad, the National Remote Sensing Center is located. Then the adapter category with innovator characteristics, that is venturesome. See, adapter category, we have different type of adapter category like innovator, then early adapter, early majority, late adapter, innovate. I mean laggards. So innovator category, the venturesome is coming under innovator category. Then when inputs are perfect complements, the isocant curve is, the right answer will be L-shaped. Okay. So an isoquant represents what isoquant represents. Isoquant represents all combinations of two inputs that produce the same level of output. All combination of two inputs that produce same level of output. Perfect complements are inputs that must be used together in a fixed ratio. For example, one driver and one tractor. You cannot substitute one for the other to maintain the same output. This fixed proportion represents result in L-shaped isoquant. Okay. If inputs are perfect substitution, two different brands of fertilizer, the isoquant is a straight line. If inputs are imperfect substitution, typical case, the isoquant is convex to the origin. Other MCQs around it, like in production economics, an isoquant curve for two inputs that are perfect substitution will be, it will be, if the inputs are perfect substitution, then it will be a straight line. An isoquant is a curve that shows all combination of two input that result in the same level of output. Okay. Next question. Generally, in forest mensuration, the diameter is taken at breast height, called DBH, or diameter at breast height. In India, the DBH is taken at height of, that is 1.37 meter or 4.5 feet. Okay. So diameter at breast height is a standard method for measuring trees diameter, which is crucial for estimating its age, volume, and biomass. The specific height at which this measurement is taken varies slightly from region to region. In India, the UK, and many other Commonwealth countries, the standard height of DBH is 1.37 meter, that is 4.5 feet from the ground level. In the United States, continental Europe, and some other region, it is 1.3 meter. So, what is the primary purpose of measuring the trees at DBH is to estimate the timber volume and biomass. In countries following the imperial system, the DBH is measured at 4.5 feet or 1.37 meter. Next question. Cutting a tree down near the ground level to encourage it to produce new shoots from the stump, that is called. So there are different practices made in forest crops, I mean forest trees. So this process is like cutting the tree down near the ground level to encourage its produce new shoot, that is called coppicing. Okay. So it is a traditional wood management technique where trees are cut down to near ground level. This stimulate the stump stool to set up multiple new shoots, which can be harvested cyclically for firewood, fencing material, or other purposes. Pollarding is similar technique, but the tree is cut at a higher level, like typically above head height, to prevent browsing animals from eating the new shoots. Lopping refers to cutting of branches, not the main stem. The associated questions might like the silviculture practice of cutting the tree high up the trunk to promote new growth out of reach of livestock is known as pollarding. Coppicing is a method used for the suitable harvesting of small diameter wood like poles and firewood. Then next question, the simplest measure of dispersion is calculated by the as the difference between the maximum and minimum value of the data set. So from the minimum to maximum of the data set, that is called range. Okay, this is the simplest measurement of dispersion. So measure of dispersion describes the spread of variability of data. Range is the simplest measure of dispersion, calculated by subtracting minimum value from the maximum value of the dataset. While the range is easy to calculate, it can be misleading as it only considers the two extreme value and ignores the distribution of the rest of the data. The standard deviation is more robust and commonly used measure of dispersion. The mean is a measure of central tendency, not dispersion. Okay, mean, median, mode, these are mostly central tendency. The associated questions like which of the following is a measure of central tendency, not dispersion, that is mean. Why is the range sometimes considered as unreliable? Because it is heavily influenced by the outlier. That means only extreme value. It depends on only extreme value. The next question, NABARD was established in the year NABARD was established in the year 1982. Okay, 1982. Mostly that if you tell about date and month, then 12th July, 12th July 1982. So NABARD, what is NABARD? NABARD is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. It is the apex regulatory body for regional rural bank and cooperative banks in India. The establishment of NABARD was based on the recommendation of B. Sibaraman Committee. B. Sibaraman. Mostly it is being asked. You have to remember. It was formed by the merging the agricultural credit function of the Reserve Bank of India and the Agricultural Refinance and Development Corporation, or ARDC. The formation of NABARD was recommended by which committee? That is B. Sibaraman Committee. What is the primary mandate of NABARD? That is uh, promoting and financing rural and agricultural development. The next question is, ICAR National Institute of Biotic Stress Management is in which state? ICAR National Institute of Biotic Stress Management is in Chhattisgarh. It is situated in Chhattisgarh. Okay. So NIBSM is a specialized institute focused on research related to stress on crop caused by living organisms like insect, pathogen, weeds. This institute is located in Boronda, Raipur in Chhattisgarh state. Uh, so basically, ICR has a vast network of specialized research institutes spread across the country, each focusing on specific commodity like rice, sugarcane, wheat, etc., on a thematic area, maybe soil science, maybe water technology, maybe stress management, etc. So it has several research institutes. One of them is NIBSM. The Central Rice Research Institute, where it is located in Cuttack, okay, Odisha. Biotic stress in agriculture refer to mostly the plants suffer from living organisms, that is biotic stress. The quantity of SSP required to supply 40 kg of phosphorus to the crop. So SSP requires 16% P2O5. So for 40 kg, requirement of SSP will be 250 kg. Okay. So single superphosphate, it contains 16% P2O5 and 100 kg SSP contains 16 kg P2O5. So for 1 kg P2O5, we need to apply 6.25 kg SSP. Likewise, for 40 kg P2O5, we require 250 kg SSP. Okay. Uh, like that, different numericals may be asked from like this. So you have to be ready for it. Then the Pampore Karevas, the GIHS site in India, is famous for the cultivation of which high value crop? So basically, it is famous for cultivation of saffron. Okay. So knowledge of unique agricultural system and high value crops in India, including those recognized as globally importance agriculture heritage system. GIH stands for globally importance agriculture heritage system. So here the Karevas are unique lacustrine lake deposits plateaus in Kashmir Valley. The Pampore Karevas are particularly famous for the cultivation of high quality saffron, that is Crocus sativus, which is one of the most expensive spice in the world. This traditional saffron cultivation system has been recognized by the FAO as a GIHS site. GIHS, again, I am saying, globally important agricultural heritage site. Okay, so a GIHS is a living, evolving system of human communities in an intricate relationship with their territory, cultural or agricultural landscape, or biophysical and wider social environment. So the GIHS program is an initiative of which of the international organization, that is, I mean, FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization. Food and Agricultural Organization. Next question: which plant is referred to as Kalpavruksha in an ancient Indian agricultural text? The right answer is coconut. Coconut is referred to as Kalpavruksha. So in Hindu mythology and ancient text, it is termed as Kalpavruksha, refers to divine wish fulfilling tree in the world. So coconut, that is palm tree, Cocos nucifera, is often given the title because every single part of the tree, from its fruit, water, leaves, and husk to trunk, is useful for humankind, providing food, drink, fuel, building materials. The banyan tree also holds immense religious significance in India, but is revered more as a symbol of eternal life and for its association of deities rather than for its all-encompassing utility like in coconut. The scientific name of the coconut plant is Cocos nucifera. The term Kalpavruksha is literally translated to wish fulfilling tree. Okay. The next question and last question of this particular test, that is, the most domesticated honeybee species worldwide, known for its high honey yield and gentle nature, that is Apis mellifera. Okay, Apis mellifera. So it is commonly known as European or Western honeybee. It is the most widely domesticated and managed honeybee species across the globe. It is favored by beekeepers for several reasons, like including high honey production, relatively docile temperament, adaptability to hive life, and larger colony size. Apis dorsata is the giant rock bee as Apis dorsata. Okay, it is aggressive and cannot be domesticated in hives. Apis florea, it is dwarf honeybee. It produces very little honey and it is not commercially viable. Apis serrana indica, it is native Indian honeybee. Apis serrana indica, it is native honeybee and it is domesticated but generally have lower yield than Apis mellifera. The questions around it: which of the following honeybee species is also known as giant rock bee, that is Apis dorsata? The practice of rearing honeybee from honey is known as apiculture. So this was about 50 diversified MCQs and it is refresher test. So you have appeared it, you are doing great. Do not only focus on answer keys, focus on creating your own, associated questions, MCQ or concept, so that it will help you in long run to retain the knowledge and to know what type of questions might come from different aspects or concepts. See you in the next lecture, next test. Keep reading, keep signing, keep glowing.